Good morning, Flosstube. This is Kathy with the So-and-Sos. This is Flosstube number 16, take 2. I actually recorded this on Tuesday morning and have spent the last 3 days trying to upload it, which it wouldn't do. So I bit the bullet and decided to start it over. Apparently had a glitch in it that wasn't going to fix. So here I am all over again. I hope I got everything gathered up again to show you. I think I will first start with questions from the craft room video, which I accidentally deleted this week when I was trying to upload this video. So I will get that put back up if you haven't seen it. Anyway, people were wondering about the pattern for this little punch needle pouch that I keep my punch needle in. And I found the pattern in my pile of patterns that I've done. So it is Threads That Bind, and it's called Punch Needle Pouch. And it's number 628. So if you look, maybe Google Threads That Bind, you can find this pattern online. I would hope it's still available because it's a handy little pouch for your punch needle. And then the other two patterns that were asked about a lot were this little pin cushion that's pieced on both the top and bottom, which is by Hatched and Patched, and this little needle book. Here, let me undo it. Come on, little string. This little needle book with the embroidery on the front, and then when you open it up, there's embroidery on that page, and then it has pockets and a place for your needles, and it's got patchwork in the middle on the back. Anyway, both of these patterns are found in this book, Some Kind of Wonderful. Annie Downs is the designer, and it's Hatched and Patched. She's in Australia, but I bought this at a quilt store, and I know the Little Red Hen in Muscatine, Iowa, handles Annie Downs patterns and books and fabric, so you might try giving them a call to see if they can get this book for you. I'm sure they can. I know for sure they have access to her patterns. I'm not sure who else does, although I do see them all over. You just need to look for them. I'm going to set these down out of the way because I have so much stuff here. Next, I think I just want to thank everybody for all the nice comments on the craft room tour and on my last Flosstube. I appreciate that. I love going through them. I'm not quite finished with the craft room tour comments. There were a lot of them, so I haven't quite gotten through all of them, but I will. And let's see what else. Oh, I know. If you want to see the sampler, the model that I stitched for Teresa Koget, it's in her new releases video, which came out a couple weeks ago, and it's called Our Dwelling Place Sampler, and I stitched the big model. There are also, it's in a book that is coming out now, and there are also smalls that people stitched from the sampler pattern. So that's out now. And that was stitched on 40 count Dunes at Dusk by Legacy Fiber Arts. And it was really nice linen. I enjoyed stitching on it. So if you want to see that sampler, that model that I stitched, it's on Teresa's new video. So now I think I'll go to my fully finished objects. My husband has been on a frame making escapade, I guess, I don't know. And I had a whole bunch of things that had been sitting around in my project roll waiting for frames. In fact, I have two here that I'm going to show you that I completed in the year 2000. So they've been waiting for 23 years to get framed. So that's pretty sad. But he made 4 frames and a horn book for me. So no, 5 frames and a horn book. So I will show you those. Well, first I'll show you these fully finished objects that I started and finished since my last floss tube. August is bee month for me, and I stitch bees. So I pulled out some bee patterns. This is one I did, and this is from Primrose Cottage Stitches, and it's called Kind Words. And so I stitched it and finished it into a pillow. It has little bee fabric on the back from Lori Holt. And I put the pom-poms around the edge. So there's one of those. And this is about bees this time. So this is part of my bee display. The next one is this teeny tiny little pillow that I stitched. Started and finished in the last month. And it's a Lizzie Kate. And it's in her Summer Smalls, number 182. And you can buy this on 123 Stitch. They have all the Lizzie Kates. And so this is the tiny little bee pattern. It has a little bee charm right here. And I just finished it with this fabric and did the seam down the middle and put rickrack around the edge. So there's another little bee finish. And then I have this one that's really cute. This is the pattern, Quirky Quaker Queen Bee, and it's by Darling and Whimsy, which isn't a designer that I'm real familiar with, but I saw this when I was in Amana at the little cross stitch store there. Well, it's a quilt store that has cross stitch, and I thought it was so cute. So I got it and I stitched it, and my husband made me a ruler box in a hexagon shape for this little bee pattern. Didn't that turn out cute? I put some of the hive material on a board and put it down first, then stretched this on a board with some batting behind it and put it down, and then I ran a black, it was just like black cotton cording around it, and that finished it off just perfectly. So that's my little bee finish, and I just love it. So there we go. Next, I had stitched this little new design by Linda Van Osdale, and it's called Top of the Tin, and this was her first one. It's Linda Van Osdale Van Accessible, and I had finished the little stitching last time, but I hadn't finished it on the Altoids tin yet. So I just put some tape measure ribbon around it and some chenille. My chenille's bumpy right there. I don't know why. Anyway, it finishes really cute and really fast. And then you have a little stitching box. I haven't put anything on the inside. I'm gonna put some fabric and maybe some felt for needles, but it's a really cute little finish. So let's see, she's vanaccessibility@gmail.com, and she's on Instagram as AKA Van Mom. So I don't know if you can see that. Maybe take a screenshot or write it down. But that's where you can get her patterns. And she has another one out that I haven't stitched yet, but I'm getting ready to. Okay, now for the framed pieces, I put this shepherd's bush. You saw it last time. It's called My Home Sweet Home by Shepherd's Bush, and it's a little patriotic one. My husband I drew a pattern for Hornbook, and he cut it out for me, and I painted it and distressed it, and then I put some rickrack around the edge and just glued it down, and I thought it turned out really cute. I just love it. So I can set it in an easel, or I can hang it from the ribbon, or whatever I want to do with it. But I think it turned out really cute. I just love that pattern. So that's the shepherd's bush one all finished. Then, get a hold of my patterns here. I have this one that I bought it at Shepherd's Bush 3 years ago, and it's by Jardin Privé. And they had done it on, they had the model is why I got it. It was so pretty, all stitched up. And it's just one thread, a variegated thread. And this in here is called blackwork. And it's just back stitches, all the little curly cues, all these leaves, like the little snail shell, this kind of stuff. That's called blackwork, and it's fun. It's just easy. It goes really fast. And I thought this was just the cutest little thing. So my husband made the frame, and I painted it black, and then I have paper on the back, and it's ready to hang. This is the pattern. It's called, what's it called? Spiral. I can't read backwards. Spiral by Jardin Privé. So that's a fun one to do. It goes really fast. And then I had finished this one earlier this year, and I don't have the pattern because I borrowed it from a friend, and as soon as I was done, I mailed it right back to her. But it's Blackbird Designs Their Songs. And my husband built this frame for me. So I painted it black and kind of distressed it. And I'm not holding it straight, so it's kind of looks wonky. But I have the paper on the back, and it's ready to hang. And it turned out really cute. So that is Their Songs by Blackbird Design. And it's stitched on PTP, I believe it's Legacy, with all the called for threads. And that's PTP is Picture This Plus. So that's another finish. Then the two that were done in the year 2000, they are Shepherd's Bush kits is what they were. And I don't have the patterns. I think I have passed them on. But this is the first one. The finished design is only 3 inches by 9 inches. So it's tall and narrow, but it's so cute. It has beads and button and specialty stitches. When you do Shepherd's Bush with specialty stitches, which if Tina is one of the sisters that designs, and if Tina does the design, Tina Herman, she'll always have specialty stitches, and the directions go row by row. Like you start at the top and you do the cross stitch, then you go this row of specialty stitches, then this row, and then this cross stitch, and then this row of specialty stitches. That's some type of satin stitch, and herringbone or something, and more cross stitch and another border and more specialty stitches, and then cross stitch. But the directions are very clear. She tells you how to do everything, and it just turns out really, really cute. And my husband made this beautiful frame, and I have paper on the back. This wood is one of the hardest woods in the world. We bought it for a mantle that we built in our house in Meridian before we moved down here to southern Idaho. And it's so hard that I can't get a nail in it for the hanger, so I need to get some command strips or something to hang it with. So I don't have hangers on it, but it is ready to hang. So there was that one. And then this is the other Shepherd's Bush from the year 2000. I actually put the date on it here. It's 00. And it's a little flowers and hearts. And these come as kits. This one was silk floss. Everything is in the kit, the needle, the fabric, the linen, all the threads, the charm, everything you need. And he built another frame, and I put the same stuff on the back. It's ready to go. Just need a command strip. So there are those two. Then, since the last video, I had started When Flowers Blossom by Brenda Gervais. I just started it at the last video, and I got it finished, and I had the tray, so I painted the tray and put it in the tray. The tray is just a red one. I have something stuck on it, but it's an easy finish. You just stretch this on I laced it. I laced all these pieces that are framed. Laced it on a piece of cardboard with some, actually chipboard with some quilt batting on the top. Not quilting, quilt batting on the top. And then laced it and just stuck it in the bottom with some double-sided tape. So if you had to take it out, you could. But I can hang this, or I can set it upright, or I can lay it flat. So you can do all kinds of things with these trays. So I started and finished that one since the last video. And then I had this stitching finished, but it needed a frame. And it is Lizzie Kate Things Unseen Mystery Sampler. And there's 3 parts to this pattern. You have to buy all 3 patterns in order to stitch the finished piece. And then once again, that's on 1, 2, 3 stitch is where I got it. And I used, this is, I believe, oh, I can't remember the name of the fabric, but it's a Picture This Plus. It has a green tinge to it. And he built this frame for me, so I laced it and got it all stuck in there. It's fairly large. It's probably 12 by 16 or so, maybe 12 by 14. But I think it turned out really good too. So nice to have somebody who can build frames, so you don't have to pay an exorbitant price. And I learned how, I worked for a framer for a while, so I learned how to lace things a long time ago, probably, 30 years ago. So I do lace most everything. Well, I do lace everything I frame, and a lot of things that it's just easier to get it straight for me when I lace it. So let me see. Now I'll go to finished items, but not fully finished. I also started Olga's Autumn Stocking the same time I started the piece in the tray, When Flowers Blossom. And I kind of did a rotation. I stitched a week on each one. And I just finished Olga's stocking. I don't have it fully finished, but it is finished. And I have it on a board here. Let me see. Of course, it's long and skinny, so you can't see it all at once. But here it is. That's the top of it. Make sure, whoops. Come on now. Make sure I get it over far enough so you can see the toe. There we go. This was so fun to stitch, and it stitched really fast. There's the toe and the bottom of it. I just finished it this week. So I finished 2 fairly large pieces in a month by rotating them a week at a time. And then in the meantime, I was stitching a small at the same time, I should say. And it's a new pattern from Hands On Design that she just came out with called a Vintage Stitch 2 Hexie. And I love hexagons because I like bees. and I love to do English paper piecing hexagons. So I had to get that one. And this is on 32 count flax by Zweigart. Whoops, upside down. This is the bigger pincushion, and this is one of the pieces for the hexagon, the little hexy pincushion. I'll show you. This is the big one, and then I have stitched that one of this. So I have 5 more of those to stitch to make this pincushion, but I have this one done. I just need to fully finish it. So those are fun, and they go really fast. You can stitch one of these. In fact, I stitched both of them in an evening. Each took an evening, but you can stitch a motif in an evening. So I need to stitch the other 5. I have plenty of fabric here. I had this long strip. That's the backs of them. I had this long strip, so I thought, oh, that'll work for those, and have room around them to finish them too. So that is, oh no, those are kind of fully finished, but really kind of a whip too. Then I have, for whips, I only have one, and I just started it last night because I had finished Olga's stocking. And this is Witch Hazel Sampler by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. And I'm stitching it on 36 count Wren by Picture This Plus. So like I say, I just started it last night. I hope you can even see it. It's her dress here. I just outlined her dress because it's solid. And the color is Corn Husk by Gentle Arts Sampler. So once I get it filled in, you'll be able to see it just fine, but right now it's kind of hard to see. But that's all I've got started is the little witch's dress. I just got it outlined. So that's the biggest part to it. So once I have the witch done, then it's just the alphabet. And this is paper that you put around the edges when you frame it. So I think that one's going to be really fun when it's finished. And that's all I have for whips and finishes, I do believe. But I did get a lot of things framed, which is wonderful. Now I can hang them on the wall and stuff. Okay, then I have some, I got Happy Mail. My friend Chrissy in San Antonio, Texas. I met her, first of all, at the Garden of Quilts. Actually, I first met her in, oh, for heaven's sakes, Shepherd's Bush at the store. She and Aggie Rachel from San Antonio, were shopping before we went to the Garden of Quilts in Lehi, Utah. And then we saw each other a couple months later at the Fall Farm Girl Retreat in Amana. And we were talking about stitching and what we'd been stitching and stuff. And I had said something about wanting to stitch the Prim series by Lori Holt. And Chrissy mentioned that she had the whole set, but she was never going to do it. And so I said, well, can I buy it from you? And she, oh, no, I'll just pass it along. And I said, but you haven't even stitched it. Oh, well, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to. And so like 2 weeks ago, I get this package in the mail, and it is all 12 of the Prim Stitch patterns. They're these little ones that, here, I can show them to you. That's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, 7, a cute little church, 8, 9, 10, 11, oh, it's pears on a fountain thing, and 12, heart and hand. I am going to stitch them all together as one piece, which is what a lot of people do. And so she also had this, which is the pattern for the border, and then the layout for all 12 on one piece of fabric. And this is all the threads and everything. So she sent me the whole thing, and I just can't believe it. Thank you so much, Chrissy. I'm really excited to start this. I'm gonna get it going pretty darn soon. Maybe in the spring. That would be a good one for spring. And then this didn't come in the mail, but it came from a friend of mine. We had high school friend pass away in July, and we did a celebration of life for her. The other two people I play music with, and I had been hired by one of the restaurants in town for a Friday night live music. And so we thought that was our friend Sarah's favorite place to go watch music. So we decided we would make that a celebration of her life, and did a lot of songs in her honor. And a lot of our friends from high school came. There were over 30 of us, I guess. And one of my friends watches my Flosstube, and she brought me this. This is Jody, and she's from Colorado. And she said, I saw this and knew it would go great in your craft room, which it does go great in my craft room. So she got it for me, and it has a little safety pin on the back, and it's in a little spool, and it's wool, and it's hand done. And I just love it. Thank you so much, Jody. I so appreciate it. And it's going in my little displays here in my craft room. And then I wanted to show you something that I love that I ordered. And I thought some of you out there might want to check this out. They're from Little Old Ragdoll Cupboard. And she's on Instagram. That's where I first saw her. This is a picture of her craft room, which is incredible. And her name is Tiffany Dean. And she does these stickers. And of course, you know how much I love tomatoes. So I had to order this one. Life is so good. And then I got Sewing is Neat. I love that one. Nice tomato. This one says, never underestimate the power of a woman with a sewing machine. It's got a little singer, just so cute. And this one is, sorry I am late, my cat was sitting on me. And that is so true with me. My cat, the minute I sit down, she's on my lap. And Tiffany makes and sells these little ragdoll Raggedy Anns, and she's doing Halloween and witchy dolls now, and they're adorable. So check her out on Instagram. It's Old Ragdoll Cupboard. This was her card. Old Ragdoll Cupboard. And she says, laptops, water bottles, phone cases, lampposts, spreading kindness and positivity anywhere and everywhere, one sticker at a time. So check her out, because those are darling, and they're really heavy vinyl stickers. So I don't know what I'm going to put them on, but I have them, so I can. Okay, I said this was about bees, so now I'm going to show you all my bee stitching. You've seen a little bit of it, but I brought it all up here. I have a display downstairs. The display wasn't in the craft room video because it's not displayed in my craft room. So I brought it all up here, and the picture, the thumbnail for the video is a picture of the display downstairs. So the first thing I brought up is this Prairie Schooler, where there are bees, there is honey. And I finished it on this, I think it's a cookbook stand from Hobby Lobby, and I see them still. I got it a couple years ago, but I still see them. And it's the same finish where I stretched it on chipboard with some batting underneath it, and then rickrack around the edges. So there's that one. Another one that I did from that same pattern is this one. And it just fit in this cute little 4-inch frame. So that one is there as well. Then this is also, no, that's not. Hold on. This one is a little extra pattern from that pattern. And I just found this tiny little box. It's like 2 inches, 1.5 inches by 2 inches or something. And this is from Hobby Lobby too. And I just painted it this gold color and put some brown wax over the top of it to kind of antique it, and just stretched that over a piece of chipboard and stuck it on there. So I thought that was cute. And then from, well, I showed you this one, which I love, my little ruler box. Then from Fabulous, no, I always call them Fabulous. It starts with an F. It's the Little Fobs B edition from Heartstrings Samplery. That's what this one was from. And this one has a pink border, so I put pink rickrack to match it, and then this yellow and white polka dot for the bee. And this little stand it's on has polka dots on the back of it. And all you have to do is just clip it in there. So, boink, just like that. Well, now I have it crooked, but you get the idea. Anyway, there we go. And another one from Heartstrings Samplery B edition is this one. And I found this little hexagon shaped box at Hobby Lobby as well, and painted it the same color and put the wax on it. And you can just stick it in there behind the glass is all I did. And it turned out really cute. So that's from the Fobs from Heartstrings Samplery B edition. This is a little thread holder that I got from Not Forgotten Farm, hand painted by Lori Brecklin, and I'm sure her husband Peter made it, and she signed it on the back. And I thought it was adorable, and it was a bee, so I had to have it. And you saw this one and this one already. Then this is a little fob that I made from a club kit that was hands-on design a couple years ago. And it's a little bee skep with American flag, and there's a little bee charm up here. And it was just, all the finishing pieces were in the kit. And it's kind of like a luggage tag finish. Has the hook up here. And then you just stretch the fabric on a piece of chipboard and the front on a piece of chipboard, and then stitch the edges together with just a whip stitch, and you can't even see it. And it just draws it together perfectly. And it's nice and sturdy. So it would be a good scissor fob for a larger pair of scissors, or put it on a bag. It's just really cute. Then this is a doll that my friend Sheila, Craftaholic Creates, made for me. I ordered it from her. And it says Buzz, and it is absolutely adorable. She does a great job with her dolls. She is on Instagram, Craftaholic Creates. And just contact her there if you want to order something. This is so cute. She's working on fall and Halloween dolls. She does Raggedy Anns and ghosts and all kinds of things. I have another fall scarecrow doll of hers that I'll show you next time probably. It was in the craft room tour too. You probably already saw it. So I have that little doll. Then you saw this one that I did in the last Flosstube. This was a Lizzie Kate called Buzz. I just finished it like they did. This I finished this spring. It's a punch needle, and the pattern is by Little House Needleworks. If you want to see a tutorial on this very pattern, go to Vonna Pfeiffer. She did a punch needle tutorial, and this is the pattern she used. And when I saw it, I had to do it. So she goes through it step by step with this very same pattern. And it's an easy one, and it turns out great. So if you want to try needle punch, or just get back into, I call it punch needle, needle punch, I guess either one works. Vonna has an excellent tutorial on this very piece. So that's fun. Then I have done this piece, and this is a pattern or kit, either one, from Little Red Hen in Iowa. You can order it online from them. I had all the wool, so I didn't order the kit. I just got the pattern from them when I was there. But this is really fun to do. It's just has black wool on the back, and you stitch the pieces down with different embroidery stitches. There's some crosses and some herringbones and some straight stitch, and it's really easy. You just whip stitch all the little pictures down. And it takes a little time because there are a lot of pieces, but it's really fun to do, and it turns out just great. The pattern is perfect. So that's a fun one if you want to try some wool applique. That's all wool. Felted wool. Not wool felt, but felted wool. And felted wool means that it's been washed and then dried at high temperature. So the wool shrinks, the fibers shrink, and then it doesn't fray on the edges. And you can cut it and it doesn't fray. Like this black isn't finished at all on the edges. It's just cut. But it has shrunk down to where the fibers don't pull apart. And that is felted wool. Wool felt, on the other hand, is different. It's felt that is made out of a certain percentage of wool. And I love working with it too because it does not fray at all. You can just cut it out, and you can sew with it, stitch with it, do whatever you want, and it never frays. It's great. Okay, the last cross stitch piece I have is another shepherd's bush. The designer was Tina Herman, and this one is called Queen Bee, and it's got beads in here on its wings, and there's a little charm, and there's some buttons here, Jabco buttons, just another button company. There's a lot of specialty stitches because this is one by Tina Herman, and so you've got all these little, these are called band samplers, by the way, because there's bands. You go by the bands. I was saying rows, but it's actually bands. And you just go down along, there's a little bee charm. And these have beads in the middle of them. And these are specialty stitches. And you get down here to the bottom, and this is a satin stitch, little triangles at the bottom. And I put it on another box from Hobby Lobby. I just painted it, and it fit on there perfectly. So it's pretty big. It's about 14 inches probably by 4. But it fits on there perfectly, and I just stand it up in my bee display to add some height to the display. But I just love that bee. And it's like an old English saying. So it says, "The bee is but a small beast amongst the fowls, yet is her fruit exceeding sweet." So kind of a cute saying. Yeah, I really like that one. And then the last thing, for my birthday, it's been probably 3 or 4 years ago now, my husband was asking me what I wanted for my birthday. And I said I really wanted a bee doll from Sally, the Humble Bumble Stitcher in the United Kingdom. She's in England. So I said, okay. tell me what to order or whatever, and I'll get it for you. So he did, and it's one of my most prized possessions. It came with all these pieces along with it. Here is the doll itself. The head is wood, and the arms and legs are dowels. I'm sure Sally knitted this little sweater for it and made the clothing. It's got these really cute little coveralls on, and it has a little bow tie and a heart button here. And look at that cute little face. Oh, I have its little antennas turned around. It is so cute. Its little arm has stripes on it, and the little legs have stripes on them for the bee. Is that not adorable? It's got this little fat round body, and it sits up really nice. Oh, I just love it. Her work is absolutely fabulous. All of her work. She does a ton of cross stitch. You can follow her. Oh, it has rusty metal wings. You can follow her on Instagram. She's the Humble Bumble Stitcher, and she's always posting wonderful things that she makes. And with that came all these pieces that go with it. This is a scissor holder, and the scissors came with it. And here's a little cross stitch on the front of a little bird with a needle, and it's on a weather vane. So cute. And this tiny little cross-stitched Ort container. It is just adorable. It has more of this little fabric on the back. So cute. Then these are garden tools that she did cross stitch and then attached them on. This is 3 spools and a needle, this one here. And then these are spools and flowers and vines and little bees and these cute little bee buttons. It's so cute, and they're on these little wooden handles that are adorable. Then there is this piece, and it's another garden tool. It's, I think it tells you how far apart to plant vegetables. That says 4 inches beetroot, 6-inch runner beans, 8-inch lettuce. I'm probably all wrong, but that's what I suppose it is. It's a measurer. And then this is like a garden stake, and this says threads. It has a little needle and spool and a little bee skep and bees on it. And they're put together with some twill tape. Ah, so cute. And then this last is this little bag that says bits and bobs. And I don't have a British accent, as you can tell. And it's all lined, and it is so cute. It has a little drawstring. And that all came together for my birthday, and I was so happy. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite things in the whole world. So thank you, Sally, for making me that. I just love it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the bee patterns that I still need to stitch, probably next year, because I'm kind of done with bees now. I have a bunch of patterns here to show you that are all bee related that I want to stitch one of these days. The first one is Heart and Hand, the bee honey of a tiny town. And I want to make it into the little drum because I do like to make drums. I think that is so cute. I love these little tiny towns. If you haven't stitched any of them, you should, because they're really fun to stitch. I have another Primrose Cottage bee that I would rather be stitching. That's a cute one. I need to get that one done. I love the finish with the fabric at the bottom and the rickrack. So I'm gonna do that one. I have from Leela's Studio Bee Sampler. And it has a lot of fun motifs on it. They're kind of Quaker looking. And they're done in a long, narrow pillow. And that's really, really cute. There's several motifs in there to stitch. This one is from a fellow Idahoan, Wendy Petrus. And this is from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, and it's called Quaker Bees. And I saw this stitched up at the Shepherd's Bush, and oh, I gotta have that. I need to get it stitched too. It's so cute. This pattern is from Little House Needleworks, and it's actually, I think, the cross stitch companion to this punch needle. Well, there's the punch needle, and this is almost the very same pattern, except there's more alphabet. And this just has the ABC. That has the rest of the alphabet and some flowers and vines at the bottom. And I like how it says Z at the bottom. So that's another cute one. I could display those two together. This is Plum Street Samplers, The Beekeeper. I like this. I think that is really pretty. She has a big, what are those were called? I can't remember. Under her dress. Hoops or something. Bustle. I think that might be what it is. The beekeeper with the big bustle. That's a cute one. This is Teresa Koget, Be Kind. And that's a fabulous bee. And that one will be fun to stitch. Then Little House Needleworks came out with the petites last year. A pattern with 4 little ones in it. And she did a bee one. This is called Bumblebee Petites. And they are finished on little wooden tags. And they're very cute. They're pretty small. That's a small picture. But there's some really cute motifs on there. Silver Creek Samplers. I believe this came out at this year's market. And it's called Freebie. All-American Freebie. And I thought that was cute. Cute play on words. But that's a cute patriotic bee. This one I got as a PDF. It's called Dame Crotal and the Bees, and it's a design by Good Flora Stitchwort. And it reminds me of a Stacy Nash design, only it's all bees and honeycomb, and there is a house and a couple of quilt stars. But I think it's adorable, and the lady with all the bees behind her and her kitty. She must be the beekeeper, but she doesn't have a big bustle. I like that one. I need to get that one done. This is a really cute one by Roveris. I got the PDF, and it just says bee on it. But it's, whoops, it's a cute design, and then it has these really cute scissor fobs. So I need to get that one stitched. This is Not Forgotten Farm Bee Sampler. It's more of a kind of a Quaker one too. Lots of bees on it. This one is the Drawn Thread, Let It Be. And it's kind of a fancy design. It's really pretty. You can tell I've been collecting these for a long time, and I collect faster than I stitch, obviously. Then I have Birds of a Feather, No Bees, No Honey, which I really like. That's a cute one. This is another Heart in Hand, Birds and the Bees, which is a cute little sampler picture. I like the colors, and I love this long, tall bee skep. I have a couple more Primrose Cottage stitches. ABC, which is a cute little sampler, and it's finished in a wooden box, which is a cute way to do it, with a little honey dripper thing. I don't know the official word, obviously. Another Primrose Cottage. This is Hive Rules. I've seen a lot of people stitching this one, and it turns out so cute. And I love this board. One of the designer's husbands or dad, one or the other, does the boards. I think I could get my husband to do one like that too. If we have a piece of wood that has this kind of funny stuff at the bottom. But that's a cute one to do. You can just do them individually or the whole thing. They'd make cute individual pillows or just little signs to set around. They're very cute. And here it is. They're called Festive Little Fobs, not fabulous, although they are fabulous and festive, by Heartstrings Samplery. And so there's all these little bee-related ones that are really cute. I showed you that one and that one. So I have several more of them to stitch. This is a cute one back here. But I have the whole set of Festive Little Fobs because they are all small and they are adorable. And they go really good in those little ruler boxes because they're the right size. This is the beekeeping edition, and you can get them on PDF, so it's instant gratification. The last one is Emily Call, ABC. This is another PDF I ordered, and that's a really cute one too. So you can see I have, oh wait, I lied. There's one more. This is Needlewoman, Busy as a Bee by the Primitive Hare. And I got this as a kit. Let me take this out. It's really shiny. From my friend Tina. Primitive Hare. And it came with, it's kind of a long needle roll. I'll show you. It's flat, and I think you could roll it up. When it's finished, you put buttons along the bottom. And this is the outside. And then this picture is the inside. It has a pocket, and it just kind of folds in half. And then it would have a fold here with this on the front. And it came with the fabric to finish it. It's really cute. It's a green background. Really cute fabric. So I need to stitch that and make it into a kit. And this was from Country Stitches. And it came with this really cute little thread holder and the threads on it. So there's only 4 threads on it. So it's adorable. And thank you, Tina, for selling me this kit. I really appreciate it. I love it. I just need to stitch it. So I think that is everything I have to show this time. Hopefully this will upload without the problems I was having with the other one. Oh, I get so frustrated at computers. And when I don't know what I'm doing, I'm not familiar with YouTube, and I'm getting more familiar. And actually this week I learned how to edit, and I'm not going to try and edit this one because I want it to upload today. But maybe by the next video, I will actually have an intro and music and an outro and all that stuff. So you can look forward to that unless I get too frustrated and give up on it. So I just want to say, oh, I know my plans maybe for the next 3 or 4 weeks. I'm starting to pull out fall, and like I started that Witch Hazel sampler. I was going to do a Stitchy September and stitch on designs that have to do with stitching, like My Happy Place and A Stitcher Lives Here and all those kind of things. But I started looking at fall stuff, and I really got sort of wanted to stitch those more than I wanted to stitch stitchy things. So I might throw some small stitchy things in there with my falls as I go along. We'll see how I get going. But anyhow, that's what I'm planning on for the next couple of weeks. I don't have anything special coming up. I do have a retreat coming up the end of October in Utah. It's under the garden moon. And that is in Provo, Utah. So I can drive, which is fabulous. And I think I'm meeting my friend Karen there. Karen, if you're watching, you better be there. And it'll be a lot of fun. So that's not till October. So September, I'm just doing normal stuff. And hopefully I'll be back in 3 to 4 weeks with another video. And in the meantime, be happy and healthy and have a lot of stitching time. Thanks, Flosstube. Bye-bye.